Hey there, I am Tasia Verno, and here is your coach talking to you about meal planning and prep. Now, this is a big question, and there's a lot that we can talk about, and I really just wanted to keep it simple and talk with you about some of the basics today, something to get you started. Now, you have gone through Beachbody On Demand, and hopefully at this point you have selected your program, your first go at it. Or maybe it's your second or third or fourth program. But you do know that every program on Beachbody On Demand has its own nutrition plan. So what you have been doing before with a different program is going to be different when you change programs. That is key. Now, there are lots of different ways to utilize these, but what I would recommend is going to your program materials tab in whatever program you choose and print out the nutrition guide. Yep, use some paper and print it all out. Read through it. There are so many great tips and information within those program materials and that nutrition guide. You want to understand it fully before you dive in and start to plan. Now, I would like for you to think about where you're going to track your meals, because tracking is really important. Perhaps you're going to use the tracker that is right there in your program materials. Maybe you would prefer a notebook, which is something that I really love. Or you can use an app. For those of you doing the 21-day fix, for example, there is a Fix app that you can use, or the Nutrition Plus app. It's free. Also, I really recommend the Lose It app. That one's great as well. It is free and it helps you to track everything that you're eating as well as your exercise. From there, let's talk about these guys. Oh, your containers. Now, I fully admit that there are people here in these groups that are container phobic, and I'm okay with that. They do not fit everyone's needs. However, they are really great for planning purposes. There are certain programs where these containers are a non-negotiable. 21-day fix, for example, 80-day obsession. These containers must be used as written in the nutrition plan. If they aren't for you, then maybe you want to look into the To Be mindset, or maybe you want to just think about your meal plan in terms of these different food groups to get you started at least. Food lists are broken down by containers as well, so there is a little something to these. Once you calculate your bracket, and your bracket is very important for all the programs. If you fall 1 calorie into any bracket, that's the one you want to follow. Do not think that if you follow a lower bracket that you will lose weight faster. Nope, not true. Your body will fight back. So use the bracket that you fall into with those calculations. Then start to think about what you love to eat. If you love eggs for breakfast, or you love sandwiches for lunch, or you really love steak for dinner, you want to write those things down and see how do they fit into these containers. How will they fit into your 3 purples, your 4 greens, your 4 reds, etc. Because you want to keep eating the foods you love. If you know that 2 glasses of wine on a Friday night is a non-negotiable for you, write that down and make sure that you count it as your yellow containers. All right, so once you start making those lists and thinking about these, also think about where your Shakeology will come into play. This is a red container. I love mine for breakfast, or sometimes I love it for a mid-afternoon snack. So this is a great red container. Also, what are your nutrition supplements, your performance stack going to fit in? For most programs, these are free foods. However, this may count as a red container depending on your program. This is your Recover and this is your Energize, and they are wonderful products. All right, so that's something that you want to think about as well. How do those supplements fit into your plan? Then, once you start to write down the things that you love to eat, writing down things that are non-negotiables, writing in those things that are happening throughout the week. Maybe you're going out to dinner on Friday. Maybe you're having lunch with your daughter on Wednesday. Those sorts of things. Once you have written those in, fill in the gaps and then create a grocery list based on that meal plan. This saves you a little bit of money at the grocery store and it makes grocery shopping a cinch. So that is something that will really help you out. I want you to allow yourself some flexibility with these nutrition plans. It really is okay for you to decide on Wednesday night if you're planning on having steak, you're not feeling like steak, have some chicken instead. That is okay. As far as meal prepping goes, you really need to dig deep and figure out what kind of meal prepper you are. Personally, I prefer to create big batches of food while I'm cooking. I don't cook all day on a Sunday prepping for the whole week. Instead, on Monday night, for example, when I'm making chicken stir fry, I make double and then I eat that for lunch the next day. So I'm not creating an extra cooking time in my weekly schedule. Some of you may really want to carve out a few hours on a Sunday afternoon to make all of your lunches for the week or to create all of your dinners for the week. That's okay too. Maybe you fall somewhere in between, but think about how meal prepping works for you. So, meal planning, is it required? Absolutely. Can it be done with flexibility? Absolutely. Can it be done to your taste? Absolutely. Do you have questions? I'm sure you do. Don't be afraid to reach out. Let's get planning.